Former Minister Malusi Gigaba told the ZONDO Commission that he does not deny knowing the Gupta brothers. He says he's visited their residence and met with their mother on one occasion. Earlier, Gigaba took the stand at the inquiry after his estranged wife, Norma, concluded her testimony.
And whilst you were the Minister of the DPE...
Yes. So whilst I was Minister of Public Enterprises, my interactions with them did not increase or decrease. You know, they continued because, as I say, I knew them. So what I'm not denying here is that I knew them. As many people knew them, I also knew them. So I continued interacting with them on several occasions. I would have, as I said, visited their residence and interacted with them at different functions. So there was no increase in the interactions, yes.
And when you say that you knew them, who in particular did you know and who did you interact with?
I knew all the brothers. I knew all the brothers. On one occasion I was introduced to their mother. I think she had just come back into the country. I think so. So they introduced me to the mother. So I knew all of the brothers, yes.
Now, when questioned about how many times he met the Guptas, the former minister said he couldn't remember.
The most important thing, Mr. Chairman, is not how many times you meet, interact, or visit a friend or an acquaintance. The most important thing is what you do with them. And as I say, I had no business dealings. So whatever interactions with them were just social, and there were no expectations of me. Probably, if you go, even by the testimony of the previous witness, I did not deliver anything. I just simply did my work, and whomsoever I knew them, and my knowledge of them had no impact on the work that I was expected to deliver.
The former minister says simply knowing the Guptas did not make him an accomplice. This comes after the evidence leader suggested that his testimony about numerous visits to the Guptas should be looked into. Gigaba, on the other hand, says the ZONDO Commission must, listen to this, take his word for it that he wasn't involved in any dodgy dealings.
Mr. Chairman, you know, knowing someone and presuming that they do something wrong later, or they are doing something wrong whilst you know them, does not make you an accomplice. I think the Commission has to take my word that I was not involved in this, all this that the evidence leader has provided, and that the Commission, to the extent that it might have different knowledge that points to me at the center of what was happening, then the Commission must do so and provide me with that information so that I'm able to respond to it. I think trying to connect the dots that you knew this, you appointed the board, these were doing something wrong. I think all of us sitting inside here might or might not know somebody doing something wrong, or might know somebody who is doing something wrong without our knowledge. Doesn't mean that we are involved with what they are doing, but that they are doing it to the extent that they do it, we certainly don't condone it.
Gigaba has denied having any private meetings with Gupta-linked businessman Salim ESSA. ESSA's name has featured prominently at the state capture inquiry. He's been linked to a number of deals with state-owned enterprises.
I only met Mr. Salim ESSA after their appointment on the board of Broadband Infraco, when I was being introduced to the board, or vice versa, when the board was being introduced to me as the shareholder. Private meetings with him, no.
The State Capture Inquiry Chair, RAYMOND ZONDO, has granted Gigaba leave to cross-examine his estranged wife, Norma Mngoma, before the end of the month.
I therefore grant the following order. Mr. Malusi Gigaba is hereby granted leave to cross-examine Ms. Mngoma. That is one. Two, I will determine the duration of the cross-examination on the occasion of the cross-examination or shortly before the cross-examination starts. That's the order.